Hey guys, tonight I'm going to be talking about nighttime airsoft wars. These are my favorite because if you can capture the advantages perfectly, then you can win every single game. Today I'm going to be talking about the different things that can help you when you're working at night, and what my favorites are, and a couple other little tips and tricks. So the first one is whenever you are going to go into something that has some light, then you're going to want to close one of your eyes. If you're right eye dominant, I would recommend closing your right eye so that when the lights go back off, you already have the advantage of being able to see in the dark with your bare eyes, and at least with one of your eyes, and you'll be able to see the enemy and shoot them. So the second is another very simple and cheap item, and this is a red light filter. So if you're unaware of this, red light actually does not make your pupils dilate, which means that if you shine this, then you can actually still see in the dark after the light goes out. So red light is still pretty bright, and it'll get things done. It's better for maybe map reading or just seeing where you're walking. Not really that great for, say, surprise attacks or whatnot. So they're pretty cheap, just something to consider. I really like them. If you're not in enemy territory, it's nice to be able to see where you're going if you don't want to drop a couple hundred or thousand on some night vision or thermal. The next thing is regular flashlights. A lot of people like to have regular flashlights on their guns, and I guess that's okay, but in certain situations, I really like to have these. But if you do use these, I would recommend having at least something with strobe. So I like to use white light for surprise attacks and whatnot because A, it will blind your enemy because they're used to the night, and B, the strobe will really disorientate them as you shoot them with your MP5, pistol, or whatever your choice of gun is. So something with strobe is recommended, but really any kind of white light would really work good as a distraction of some sort, or just to disorientate your enemies. After that, red dots. So iron sights at night happen to kind of blend in with the darkness. So red dots are very effective at seeing things because they have an illuminated red dot. You may spend a little bit extra money on this, but overall it's worth it, and you can use it during the day, and it'll just really help. And of course, it adds that coolness factor to your gun. The last thing, which is probably going to be the most expensive out of all of this, is tracer BBs and a unit. So there are a couple different, points of view on this. You can have really bright tracers, which everyone will see. They'll look cool, and you'll be able to see where you're shooting. Or you can have a dimmer one. You may not be able to buy one, but if you can make one pretty cheap, if you want to check out my other video, you can make that, but use maybe a lower brightness of bulb, maybe an LED of some sort, and it will only light them up a little bit, which means that if you are facing the back of them, then you will be able to see them kind of dim. If you're facing the side, you won't be able to see them at all, which is quite an advantage because you want to see your own BBs, but you don't want the enemy to know where you are or where you're shooting at. So that would really help out a lot. And it's nice to know if your gun's firing because sometimes in the heat of the moment you can't tell. It's nice to see where your shots are going, and overall, it's just one of those items that can really help you out. So these are a couple things that really help me in Night Wars. I also use a couple other secret features, which I will probably bring out in a couple airsoft wars soon. And other than that, I guess that's it for tonight, so thanks.